Imagine a piece of clothing that tells a story about who you are, where you come from, and what you believe in, without saying a single word. My name is Caroline, and today we're traveling all the way to Ghana, a country in West Africa, to learn about something special called Kente cloth. Kente cloth isn't just a fabric, it's art with meaning. Each pattern is like a secret code that tells a story about family, community, or history. In today's lesson, you'll identify where Kente cloth comes from and why it's important. Next, you'll describe how different patterns in Kente cloth tell stories and represent important ideas. And finally, you'll plan and create your own Kente-inspired paper weaving artwork. Before we get started today, let's gather your materials. You will need your guided notes and a pencil. Whenever you see bolded words, be sure to write them in your guided notes. You can pause and rewind the video at any time. Let's begin. Take a look at these images of Kente cloths. What do you notice? Maybe it's the bold colors, the geometric shapes, or how unique each one looks. Kente cloth has been around for hundreds of years and is woven by hand, thread by thread. Pretty cool, right? Kente cloth was first created by the Ashanti and Ewe people in Ghana. This cloth was worn by kings, queens, and members of the royal family of the Ashanti kingdom during ceremonial events and special occasions. Each Ashanti king would work closely with the master weavers to create a new Kente design. This Kente design had to be chosen with great care because its patterns and symbolic meaning would always be associated with this particular king. Today, Kente cloths are worn around the world, including the United States, as part of family celebrations, graduations, and holidays like Juneteenth and Kwanzaa as a way for people to connect back to their African roots. Kente cloths continue to celebrate pride, heritage, and cultural connection in both personal and public ways. Let's reflect and respond. In your guided notes, answer this question. What kinds of clothes or fabrics do you or your family wear for special occasions? Maybe for a holiday or a family event. Pause the video here while you write your reflection. Awesome! Now let's dive into how the patterns, such as colors and lines found in Kente cloths, can tell their stories and communicate special messages and meanings. In Kente cloth, each color has a special meaning. For now, we'll be focusing on 3 common colors: yellow, green, and black. Yellow represents things that are precious and beautiful, like gold. It's like a reminder of what's valuable in life, such as love, family, and community. When you see yellow in Kente cloth, think of the things in your life that are special to you. Green is the color of plants and nature. It represents renewal and growth, like the blossoming of flowers or the start of something new. Black is a strong and powerful color. It represents unity and strength, like people coming together to support and care for one another. It also symbolizes the importance of friends and family. Let's reflect. If you could make up a new meaning for a color, what would it be? For example, maybe purple could represent imagination, or orange could stand for courage. In your guided notes, take a moment to add a new color to your patterns chart. Write what it means to you and draw an example. You can pause the video while you reflect. Now let's look at lines. Lines as patterns give a sense of movement, flow, and direction. We'll be focusing on 3 common lines: zigzags, horizontal, and vertical lines. Zigzags represent the twists and turns of life. They remind us that even though the road may not always be straight, the journey is still worth taking. Horizontal lines represent strength and good health. These lines remind us to value our well-being, so take care of your mind and body. Vertical lines represent bravery and protection, like a shield that keeps us safe. Vertical lines remind us to stand tall and be courageous. Imagine a line pattern that isn't in your line chart, like loops, spirals, or dotted lines. If you could make up a new meaning for a line, what would it be? In your guided notes, add a new type of line to your patterns chart, write its meaning, and draw an example. You can pause the video while you reflect. Great work! Now it's time to get creative and make your very own Kente-inspired paper weaving. This is your chance to design something that tells a story about you, just like the artists in Ghana do with their Kente cloth. In just a moment, our art teacher Kayla will show you step by step how to create your Kente paper weaving artwork. You'll have time after this video to work on your planning sheet, so for now, let's watch Kayla carefully.
Now here I have all my planning sheets ready to go. These planning sheets will help guide me as I create my Kente paper weaving. Now first I'm taking my pink paper and folding it in half like I'm making a card. Pink for me represents love and kindness. Then I'm going to fold this paper in half one more time. So when I open it up, you can see that the folds make 4 separate sections. I'm turning my paper vertically so it's tall like a door. And now it's time to grab my markers. In this first section, I'm using my blue marker to draw a zigzag and a dashed line. In the second section, I'm using green to draw my wavy and dotted lines. I'm going to repeat these designs the exact same way in the next 2 sections. Now let's put this paper off to the side just for a moment. Now for my yellow paper. I'm folding this paper the exact same way I did with my pink. I'm going to open it up, turn it vertically, and now I'm ready to add my lines. In this first section, I'm using my red marker to draw a straight line and a hill line. Now a hill line is also called a scalloped line, but to me, they look more like hills. In the second section, I'm using purple to draw my spirals and diagonal lines. I'm going to repeat these designs the exact same way in the next 2 sections. Now back to my first paper. I'm going to fold it in half again, just once. I'll use a piece of tape at the very top of the open edge. Now this tape is very important. It shows me where to stop cutting. I'm using my scissors and carefully cutting from the fold up to the tape at the center of the paper. Then I'm going to make 2 more cuts in the middle of the first cut and the edges of the paper. Now I have 3 neat cuts that open up spaces for weaving. Next, I'm taking my second paper and cutting out the patterns that I drew. I'm cutting along the folds of each section and then cutting these sections in half so each strip is its own different line pattern. These strips are what I'll use to weave through the first paper. Time to weave. I'm taking my first strip and sliding it through the openings in my first paper. Now watch this. Over, under, over, under. There. Now for the next strip, I'm going to switch the weaving order, starting from under, then over, then under, and over. I'm making sure that everything is lined up neatly, and I'm pushing these strips close together so there are no gaps. Continue switching your over-under weaving pattern until your paper strips fill the entire first paper. Now you may not use all of your strips, and that's okay. All right, the weaving looks great. Now I'm grabbing my glue stick. I'm gluing down the edges of each strip so they stay in place. No loose edges here. And there we go. It's finished.
Wow, great work. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to look back at everything we've learned today. We learned about the origins and meaning of Kente cloth. We also explored the symbolism behind common patterns found in Kente cloth, and we even got a step-by-step demonstration to create a Kente-inspired paper weaving. Art is a powerful way to tell stories, celebrate culture, and share what matters most. Thank you for joining me on this journey to Ghana and for learning about the beautiful tradition of Kente cloth. Keep creating, and I'll see you next time.
Hey!